close and personal. Rachel Park. All right. Hey, we're live. Hey, we're on. It came on. Welcome back to gritgym, guys. You've got Adam, nasally Adam today, and kind of perfect Rachel. Kind of perfect, because I don't think we'd want to be perfect even if we could be. I don't think you'd want to be perfect. You'd miss out on all the good stuff. But no. Anyway, thanks for being here, guys. I'm a little nasally, so I apologize for that. But I guess I shouldn't apologize for that, but I'll do the best I can for you. But today is the Rachel and Adam show. We're talking about a topic that I forget now, and I forgot because you told me 5 minutes, or I forgot even though you told me 5 minutes ago. What is it?
So we're talking about, Adam's working on a project.
Done.
Oh, okay. So it's called the 100 Ways to Stay Focused.
Yeah, basically, I've had, the focus has been a struggle my entire life. I got diagnosed with attention deficit when I was first grade.
Not first
grade. And back then they basically told you to prepare for a rough life. It's going to be tough, you know? Yeah. And I've told this story on here numerous times, but anyway, so I've had to do all of these different things along the way to try to really get clear with my focus and to try to hone in and practice and get this thing down to a T. Anyway, I started writing down some of the things, started documenting them, and it came out, and I got done, and I was like, it was just a little over 100, and I was like, holy shit, like, do I really do this stuff? What's that?
That, you started writing them down because people could kind of learn from.
Could benefit from them. I thought, I wonder how many things I do, and I started writing them down, and I was like, some of these are really beneficial. Like, some of these wouldn't just affect somebody, help somebody that has trouble with attention deficit or dyslexia or these different things. Some of these would help just anybody, and I think that we can all benefit from more focus. So I started making videos on them, and so I made 100 different. I made over 100. It's actually 100, so I made a few bonuses, but 100 different ways to stay focused. And I did a video on each one, and then I wrote about a chapter on each one, and then that would be a book, and then that would be a product that you guys can grab.
And I don't think it's not about using 100 different ways to stay focused. If I'm hearing it correctly, it's about finding what works for you.
Kind of. I mean, there's stuff that's going to work for everybody, but I do think you need to become a master at one. And then you branch on it. You learn them all, pick one, become a master of that one thing, and then move on to another one and become a master of that. So you take a month, and all you're going to do is get that one thing done, and then once you've got that down, then you can add another one, and another one, another one, another one. I've done this over the course of, let's see, I was diagnosed when I was 6 or 7, 25 years.
I was a little bit later. I was diagnosed when I was a senior in high school.
So you got to miss out a bunch of pills being shoved down your throat.
So that's kind of what the topic I kind of figured out for today. It's kind of an offshoot of staying focused and 100 ways to stay focused. So we're going to talk about the power of routine, and you must train. To get better at anything, you must have the ability to train. And I think the power of routine goes a long way with this.
Yeah.
Build, so the power of training, for example, working out. I mentioned this before. You wouldn't start your workout without having a set of warm up to get ready for your day. So
yeah. You mean you wouldn't have a pregame or a warm up or something to get your head right?
When you're getting ready for competition, you have a routine so you can get in the right mindset. Without that routine, you're kind of all over and you don't know what's going on. So that's what the topic is.
Well, you can create with routine and with the stuff that I talked about in the 100, you can predict or you can create predictability. And if I can become,
that's an important part of it.
And this is there's a little bit of a paradox here because becoming completely a routine obsessed person where you cannot do your thing without the routine, that's an error, right? And to live your whole life without being able to step out of that routine, that's an error. But at the same time, if we want to get a ton of stuff done, we want to accomplish a lot of stuff in our life. I'm trying to curse less on the show.
Why?
I don't know. It just seems there's certain episodes where I do a little more than I would like to do. Where was I? But if you can if you want to get a lot of stuff done, then you have to practice that thing over and over and over and over again, and not until you get it right, but until you can't get it wrong. And then it's just varying degrees of how good you can actually do in that medium. And that's what I think what we're talking about here. I think.
Well,
is that the topic? Is that where you want to go with that?
And routines, routines have become boring. Once you're like a master at that routine, they're like
so boring.
Yeah, they can become boring. But like, I think a good way to start is probably figuring out what your priorities are. Once you know your priorities, you can, like, for example, working out. I don't know why that keeps coming out, but like,
no, it does. Like, that is a priority for you. It's a priority for me.
Being in shape so that you can have energy throughout the day, and you can play with your kids, or
whatever your
just
reasoning is.
do like day-to-day activities without feeling exhausted. Then it becomes your priority, and you make that. Like, I was talking to one of the ladies at the gym. She was her daughter was asking her to babysit on a day that she always comes to work out, always. Yeah. And she's like, I told her no, because she knows it's my day to work out. And I was like, yes, that's exactly how my habit of working out. I knew on this day at this time, this is when I'm going to be at the gym. Otherwise, I would never feel like going to the gym.
Yeah, that's like the motivation thing. It's not about being motivated.
But if I know that
you just do the thing that you need to do.
Yeah. If I know that benefits me, whether it be because I get a good workout in, or because I feel a sense of accomplishment afterwards, or I get energy, like, I know that that's a priority at that time, at that day. So it's become part of my routine, and now it's a habit.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And now you don't have to really discipline yourself to do that thing. That is just what you do.
No. I'm never going to get home from work and feel like I want to go work out. That's just not how I operate.
I don't think anybody does.
I would much
anybody
rather
who tries to argue that is
sit on the couch and watch my favorite TV show. But if it comes to that time, 15 minutes before my workout, and I know I need to start getting ready, then yeah.
This isn't just like Adam theory either. By the way, this isn't Rachel theory. This is something we know.
Some of the stuff is so ridiculously hard for me to figure out. Like, I need that discipline in my life to accomplish those things.
I think everybody does it though, but like, I don't think that you underestimate it, and most people do. Like what I was going to say before was like, we know that when you're learning activity, that IQ drops, that the amount of sugar that your brain, or the amount of energy your brain actually consumes in order to learn the new activity is a great deal. You go through a lot of mental energy, like real mental energy, not like I'm talking about the actual muscle of your brain doing the thing that needs to do.
You're building the muscle.
The fatigue happens in your mind, and when we get really good at that activity, we do it a bunch of times.
Priorities, so like working out, or what did I start doing? I started making the bed. Like, literally right after I roll out of bed, if I'm not going to the bathroom first, or like grabbing a glass of water, I'm making the bed. And I've never made the bed in my entire life, and I don't even think that it's even that important.
I like it, by the way.
But
I really like it.
He likes it.
I do enjoy it.
I mean, I don't hate it. It's an easy task. It takes me maybe a minute.
If that.
And right away, I'm on the momentum of feeling like I've accomplished. Come on, like, do it. It's not hard. It starts you off on your day, like, kind of. Yeah. That's the whole idea of it.
Like get a win, first thing in the morning.
Yeah, it's like you have to brush your teeth because you'll stink the rest of the day. You have to like put your clothes on because you don't want to be walking around naked. But like if it's a certain personal care type of thing that you need to add to your routine to kind of get the momentum of your wins, making your bed is a perfect example. Yeah. For me, it has been.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I never used to do that.
That was one of the things, I was kind of in a slump a few years ago, about maybe 10, 12 years ago. Refining that process so that it continues to improve upon. Yeah. I don't want to just sit there and be like, well, does this work for me? Does this not work for me? That's not what I'm talking. That's not what I do. I don't think anybody that's successful does that. I think what they do is, how can I do this better?
Yeah. Well, if your habit becomes eating a donut every morning and you still feel like crap, then you're probably gonna refine that and take that out of your right?
Well, yeah, it's like you can get in.
I think at that point it's going to be the hardest.
No, that's the easiest.
Okay, yeah, start with one thing, but like to build up to like it's going to take a lot more self-discipline in the beginning, but it'll snowball so quickly.
Yeah. That's why I don't think that you should underestimate it. Anytime that you're building a new habit, new lifestyle, new like you're changing anything about the life that you do that you already are living right now, about focus, you're going to expend a certain amount of mental energy to accomplish that thing. But once you get that thing, now it's just cruise control, and you're going to be able to maintain it at a very easy level.
Because I notice when I like skip out on certain things, I start to lose the feeling of like control and like.
You always focus. You're going to write down 2 successes. This is one of the things in the 100 Ways to Focus. At night, you're going to write down 2 successes, 2 things that you succeeded at that day, and then you're also going to write down a thing that you could have improved upon. And I make it very clear, like, this is not a time for self-loathing. This is not a time for like, oh, I sucked at this today. I could have improved upon that. No, it's like, what did you learn? If you did suck, even if you did suck at that thing, what did you learn from it so that you don't suck next time? Otherwise, you're just going to repeat the whole thing, and it's just going to be a reinforcement for why you're not enough for the thing that you actually wanted to do in the first place.
Yeah, it can suck you in.
Yeah.
So, what about your comfort zone? Like how, like getting into your getting into
At the same time, we want to grow that comfort zone out, is I think what you're saying. So you have to go into it. You have to expand it. To expand your comfort zone, you have to go to new uncomfortable places.
Yep.
And in that uncomfortable place, you spend enough time there, you're going to become comfortable there, and then you just keep on expanding that out. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a two-way street. Like on some level, I do want to be comfortable. If I go through and I go do something where I went through, like, let's say, a lot of spiritual growth, or we go to a new level in our relationship, or I get a really hard workout in,
more and push yourself to do
You mean
more.
like when you're satisfied?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's easy to get used to it, and then once something comes along, you just don't know how to handle it. The anxiety or fear or like, and just a cop out for staying in that comfort.
Satisfied is a when I say dangerous, I don't mean a positive form of dangerous. I mean a very dangerous. Like not being satisfied is not a place where you want to live. I'm a very unsatisfied person. Like, it takes a lot to like get me to a point where I'm satisfied where I am. I'm good. This is fine with me.
It doesn't mean you're unhappy. Version of that. But I mean, once you like, say you hit your goals all day long, and you made your bed, and you ate a good breakfast, and you went to your workout, and you had a good day at work. I think
a productive day at work.
Yeah, a productive day at work. Like the snowball becomes like powerful, energetic. Like you get energy from it. You feel fearless to take on new and bigger challenges along the way.
I do that.
I have blah blah blah. Kids become like a nuisance to what you want to do or like your priorities, but really, if they are your priority, then you have to get these things done so you can be a better parent to them.
Right.
If you're choosing to fight with them every single night, that adds up. Like how many hours a night are you choosing to pick that fight with them, and then that expands into how many times a month and how many times a year.
Beyond that, like if you're going, like let's say you want to write a book, the whole thing that you want to do with your life, you want to write a book, and you keep saying, well, when the kids are in school, I'll write the book.
this time I'm doing this, at this time I'm doing this, it takes away for any sort of chaos to come. Like when wrenches get thrown into your day.
If you can dodge a wrench,
you can dodge a ball. But if you get really good at dodging those wrenches and kind of just ducking and weaving and keeping on your course, then you're more likely to get your day accomplished.
Right. And Stephen Pressfield talked. No matter what, I write until 7, or I write until 8, like 8:20 when we need to leave. When I go to work, and I come back and do some other stuff. And this show always at 12:30 every day. Like the creative muse.
We're a little late.
Oh no!
But you were having a sneezing fit, so
I'm not doing so well in the nasal category right now.
It's gonna drain it.
Maybe I should get one of those EpiPots. Sure,
Neti Pots.
Neti Pots?
Yeah.
EpiPots?
Like an EpiPen?
Yeah. It'd be great.
Yeah.
I guess shoot some adrenaline.
No, the neti pot will clear you out.
I bet.
Go through your day just like weaving and like not happen.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're just waiting for things to get accomplished, they're not going to get accomplished. Definitely not.
People do that though. People do that with like really important stuff, like dreams and hopes and wishes and like all kinds of stuff, like workouts and finances and their relationship. How many people are like, oh, we just are in a bad place right now, and they don't do anything about it. It's like, man, time for me? What are the things that science has proven to be a thing in the focus category? Like, what are the things?
The most powerful people in the world, if you look at them, like if you read their books, they all have a morning routine too.
Yep.
Like beyond this whole,
like
I find it, like maybe at this point when they have everything they want and need, they might have like a very small dumbed down version of a routine, but like to get
body does to a certain extent, but I can't
But
have
you
power
can control-
within my body. I can have power within my relationship. I can have power within my presence. I can choose. Like, even though it's raining, I can choose to have a response to the rain. Like, I can cry because
I love when it rains.
I know, but some people like the whole like you cry when it rains. Like,